Hey guys, all the information is taken from Century 21 Accounting Textbook. Today we're going to go over 9.5. This is how we post from the cash payments journal into the general ledger and the accounts payable ledgers. So the textbook kind of sets it up by breaking it down into specific sections. When we post, we start at the top and we work our way down our journal. So we post the first line, then the second line, then the third line. Then we work left to right and we post the special amount column totals. So we first start with the general and we post those individually. Then we work with our special accounts. So here, this one's saying that we have to post a cash payment to the accounts payable ledger if it affects the accounts payable. So again, here is Baird & Chemicals accounts payable ledger account, and we want to make sure that we put the date in, CP, which is cash payments, that's the post reference 21, that is the purchase journal, this is the cash payments journal, debit for the $5,483, and since this is a credit balance, we have to subtract. One of the key vocabulary terms down here is the word credit limit. So some vendors might put a credit limit on their customer and say, hey, after $12,000, you can't buy anything more until you make a payment to us. So here it is. They're getting close to that $12,000, so they're making a payment, and now they're bringing their account balance back down. Don't forget the difference between accounts payable ledger and a general ledger. So when we when we have an accounts payable ledger, those are all these businesses broken up. Anyone we know owe money to, they're all broken up into this sheet. So we can look back and say, hey, we owe Baird & Chemicals $6,000 right now. That's that accounts payable ledger. Then you have a general ledger, which is just literally the general account. So purchases and different assets and the different expenses, and it has a lump sum for accounts payable, but it doesn't break down the details of that accounts payable like the accounts payable ledger does. So here we see us posting that purchase. So we write the date, we write CP 21, the debit is the 480 because it is a debit. And this is a debit balance, running balance here. So we're going to add this number to this number, and they're getting a new total. So each general amount column is posted individually. Then we do a total, proving, and ruling. So we see, this is where the textbook has it a little bit backwards. We should have totaled, proved, and ruled first, and then discussed how we post. Because if you don't total, prove, and rule first, you should not post yet, because you're not sure if those numbers are accurate. So really the first step is total, proving, and ruling that cash payments journal. So here we are single lining it, saying let's add up our columns. We put the date, which is the end of the month. That's when we should be doing this. We put totals, and then we add up each column. Okay? Here, we want to make sure our debits equals our credits. If they don't, we messed up somewhere along the line. So here we have that nice little graphic that they've given us before. Because it's not a simple do the debits equal the credits, here we have a debit, and 2 credits. We actually have 2 debits and 3 credits. So they break it down. What was the general debit? That was the balance. What was the general credit? That was the balance. Okay, accounts payable debit, that was the balance. Purchases discount credit, okay, and cash credit, okay. We add them and we see, hey, guess what? We proved it. They equal each other. We totaled, we proved, and we ruled. So we double line it to say, like a ruler, hey, these equal each other, let's move on. If it does not, do not do any posting. Go back and make sure your entries are recorded correctly. So now it's going to go further, it's kind of a little all over the place, I think. So now it's saying post from the special amount columns of a cash payments journal to the general ledger. So first step we did, total proven rule. Second step, now we post each individual general account. Once we post the general, then we can post the special amount columns. For these, we don't have to go down each row. We can just take the total. So here we took the total of the accounts payable and put it in that general ledger account. This is not the accounts payable ledger. This is the general ledger. So this is just how much accounts payable did we pay off? Well, $7,051.50. So we end up subtracting those, and now we're down to $19,604. If you want to get down to the details of the accounts payable ledger, then you come over to those ledgers and say, okay, we owe them this much, we owe them this much, we owe Galley this much, Mobley this much, and we just keep working our way down. This is just that generic summative amount. We can do the same thing with the purchases discount. We post that as a total amount, 21, so the date. Cash payments, 22 is the journal page. 2160 and 7, we add 2160 to the credit and we get 712. Now don't forget, you need to carry up your post reference 5. Same thing here, 21110, 21110. We put check marks underneath here because these rows should have already been posted. The last one is cash. We can post the cash payment in full as well. The date, the post reference number, it's a credit, and we end up subtracting it from the debit. And then we put the post reference up here, 110. Okay, so this is just that completed accounts payable ledger. And once we finish all of that, total proven ruling, post the individual ledger or post the individual general journal amounts, post the special columns amounts, then we can do this, proving the accounts payable ledger. So often the controlling account balance, which was this number, 19,604, that number is equal to the sum of each accounts payable in the ledger. Accounts payable in the ledger. So we want to do a schedule of accounts payable, which shows the vendors, the accounts balances, and the total amount due to all vendors. This is the schedule of accounts payable. This is called good internal controls. This is called we're proving over and over again that our numbers were accurate, because when this has to be done manually, errors can be made. So sometimes people call this accounts payable trial balance as well. Well, we ended up finding out that this number, total accounts payable, is equal to the accounts payable general ledger. And how we did it was take each account in the accounts payable ledger, put the totals in, added it, totaled it, ruled it. Okay, so the work together problem will show an example of how to do that. This is not new. You do know how to post, and we've always posted general first, then we would post the special amount column. So don't get tricked. The only new step in this is making sure we post to the accounts payable ledger. All right.